Hey YouTube, my name is Martil and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is actually my first video, and although you guys might not know me yet, this isn't going to be the last time you hear or see from me. I'm not exactly sure where I want to take my YouTube channel yet. I'm really interested in basketball, giving out advice, anime, gaming, anything like that. So if any of those topics really interest you, make sure to like and subscribe to make sure you can follow me on the journey. But for today, I want to give advice to some of the young men, young women out there. Maybe you're in school, maybe you just graduated, looking at college, trade school, whatever it may be. I just wanted to share some thoughts and what I've learned in my life. Although I'm a young man in my 20s right now, I've just lived a life that I think I can give something back to the young people out there. Maybe some stuff that I would have wished I heard, or some advice that I give to my younger siblings. So without further ado, let's get right into it. My first piece of advice would be, although it sounds cliche, is of course make some mistakes, even especially now that you're young, because in the future you never know. You can have a wife and kids, you have a mouth to feed, and now that you're young, it's just you. You don't have to worry about providing for others. You can just really make a mistake, and worst comes to worst, maybe you can move back with your family if something doesn't work out, or whatever the case may be. The stakes are just a lot lower now that you're young. You know what I mean? But of course, I'm not talking about, bad mistakes. I'm not saying, try drugs or I don't even know, having kids when you're young, that sort of thing. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, taking a risk. And even if you fail, you tried. It's better to have tried and to fail than to have to, continue to go on wondering if you could have done better, or just wondering what could have happened. So I definitely say take that risk, or talk to that girl. You know what I mean? Ask her out. Maybe she says no. Maybe she dubs you. You know what I mean? Maybe you even end up in a group chat. You never know, man. You never know. But 5 years down the line, who's gonna care? Truly. Imagine you never asking 5 years down the line. She's like, I actually had a crush on you, but you never asked me out, so I didn't know. Come on now, that's way worse than potentially her saying no and dubbing you. Come on now, you know what I mean? Going back to taking that risk, I think a lot of people kind of give up on, maybe their dreams, or don't pursue it as hard as they can too early. You know what I mean? I think that oftentimes we're really forced into going into careers and jobs and that sort of thing that kind of take a lot of our energy away, which is fair. A lot of people work hard and come back tired and that sort of thing, and may not want to put in the effort to, pursue their dreams, their passions, their goals, those things that they wanted to do since they were legit. You know what I mean? But I think that it's important to at least give it a try. I dare you to go hard towards your dreams, to step out your comfort zone and make that YouTube video, or I don't know, maybe try to sell your art just for like 2 years. Give it a try. At least you tried. And what's the worst that can happen? You fail? Failure is necessary for success. I was actually reading not too long ago. I think I saw a TikTok that was talking about Samuel L. Jackson. The guy that was in Star Wars, The Avengers, Pulp Fiction, mega superstar, Samuel L. Jackson. I read that he he was doing small roles and didn't really land a major role until he was 40 years old, and didn't land his role in Pulp Fiction, which obviously catapulted him into fame, until he was 45. Imagine if he gave up. We wouldn't know Samuel L. Jackson today. All that to say is, if you fail, if you don't see the success right away, if you don't get to where you want to be right off the bat, don't just be discouraged. You know what I mean? Keep going. Keep giving it a try. At least, at least, like I said, you can rest easy knowing that you tried and gave it your all. You know what I mean? And who knows? Maybe you can be like that next Samuel L. Jackson. But regardless, worst comes to worst, take it as a learning opportunity. Take in that L. It's okay. Take the L. Reflect on it. Learn from it, and apply it to what you try again next time. You never know. That next time, that one more shot that you give it could be the time that you succeed. So I would always say, no matter what it is, don't give up your dreams and just keep trying. Even if you're 40, 50, it don't matter. You can make it any day. All right. So my next piece of advice is get educated. Get as educated as you can. At the very least, you got to get high school. I'm from Florida, and so many times you can see people that drop out before even graduating high school, and I hope that's none of y'all. At the very least, graduate high school. I mean, there's so many studies that even show just graduating high school can lead to better health outcomes, less likelihood of being incarcerated, put in jail. And it's just obviously a lot easier to get a job with at least a high school diploma. But assuming that, you guys all watching here is on the path to already graduate, what next? Nowadays, there's such a big pressure to go to college, and it's almost like you have to. I tend to disagree. I'm gonna be honest. I go to college, and I'm gonna graduate soon, but I don't think that everybody needs to and should go to college. First off, unless you're getting scholarships or you're low income like me and get a lot of financial aid, it's way too expensive nowadays to go to college. I don't know how people be paying 40, 50, 90K a year just to go to school. It's insane. But to those who maybe want to go a different route, I would really advocate for trade school, whether that be cosmetology or whether it be electrician, plumbing, that sort of thing. I think that could be a really good option for a lot of people. One, it's way cheaper than college. Two, it's also a lot quicker to go through the program and eventually land a job in college. And three, a lot of people in college be getting bullshit majors. Like, you could really make more money than people in college by going to trade school, and you're in the industry quicker. Not to mention, for a lot of people, I know people that started their own business and are making a lot of money now because of it. And they have the opportunity. I mean, it's a lot of work at the beginning, of course, but especially when you get things a little more set up, you can really set your own schedule and have a lot more free time than being in a set schedule. So I don't know. Seems like a pretty good gig. So I would definitely recommend, trade school if you think that college isn't the route for you, financial issues, whatever it may be. For a lot of people, especially like the first gen kids, I understand that college is just that's the expectation. You need to don't really have an option. And I definitely understand that. So for you all, if you don't get scholarship money, you don't get financial aid, whatever your situation is, I would really, really, really recommend at least considering looking at, community college / state school, at least for 2 years, because kind of like trade school, it's just way cheaper than university. Not to mention, you can transfer your classes anyways. If you want to go to that 4 year university, take some classes at a community college for way cheaper and just transfer them. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. Many of the top universities, even Ivy Leagues, are taking transfer credits. So really look into that. And like I said, it's way cheaper. So I'm just saying, you're getting a lot more bang for your buck at a community college. So with that, like I said, get educated, look at your options, and really consider it. Also, random piece of advice for my first gen kids. I ED'd to my university. I don't think you should ED. It's just not fair to the first gen kids or low income kids, because you can't really compare financial aid packages when you ED. I didn't really get that when I was applying. So unless you love, like, for sure you want to go to that school, like really for sure, I would not ED, because it's just not fair. For a lot of us, the financial aid package is really going to determine where you can go. So I would say weigh out your options truly. And if you have some sort of guidance counselor or something like that at your high school, or just anyone in your community that you can really talk to, I would really say talk to them first. My next piece of advice number 3, would be to be intentional / purpose driven. I don't think there's anything wrong with maybe trying to figure out what you want in life, or basically just wandering to figure out what you want in life. I don't think that's a problem, but I do think that it's important to live with some sort of purpose or some sort of goal, whether that be to just put positivity out there, whether it be even if it's just to make more money, get closer to God, that sort of thing. I think it's a very important, especially for people in our generation, to have some sort of purpose or some sort of goal that they're working towards. And I think that lack of purpose or drive, or not drive, but that lack of direction leads to a lot of issues, one of them being mental health. And I think that could be a discussion for another day. I can't really tell you how exactly to find your purpose or what your purpose is. Of course, that's up for you to decide. But I think that there's a pretty good way to kind of at least move in the direction of finding it, which is to be reflective, to speak with God if you're religious, to find out what really makes you happy, what you find yourself being naturally good at, or that you see that you get a lot of positive feedback from. Let's say, for example, you find helping people to be really rewarding. Maybe that's something you really like to do. Maybe you should consider being a therapist, maybe being a teacher, that sort of thing. Or maybe even like what I'm doing now with this YouTube channel, talking, sharing your life experiences and advice with others. I think that is really important to pursue that, to really do it. So I would say just find what you're good at, take time to reflect, and that reflection can either be just internal, just taking some moments to maybe just like close your eyes, meditate a little bit. You don't even have to meditate. You can just, kind of just reflect, think to yourself. For me personally, I love to journal. I have a personal journal that I keep with me that every once in a while I just write down how I'm feeling, what I think about things that are going on in my life. One, to just kind of reflect because life moves so fast that it's kind of hard to really process what's really going on. And two, it's actually a really good time capsule for your future self. Going, 10, 15 years into the future, and you want to look into your mind as, say, however old you are, say you're 20 right now. See what your mind was like at a 20-year-old. Well, you wrote in that journal at 20 years old. You can really see exactly what you were doing, how you were feeling, how your days were going. So I really recommend a journal, some sort of way to kind of just take a step back from what life's going on, whatever's happening, and just really think about how you feel about it. So yeah, I would definitely say just reflect and just take some time to speak with God. All right, and let me leave you with one last piece of advice, and that would be to just be thankful and just to not forget to stop and appreciate what you have. In social media, it's so common to see everybody, even younger than us, that have so much more things, maybe materialistically, or in terms of like cars or that sort of thing. And it's easy to get discouraged just by seeing that. You think, oh, I'm not doing enough, I don't have enough, I'm not successful enough. But I think it's important to take the time to be grateful for being here. A lot of people didn't make it to today. You woke up today. That's already a blessing. A lot of people maybe people they're in jail right now and they don't have the opportunity to be out free in the world and to pursue their goals and pursue their dreams. But you're here. So if you have a good relationship with your parents, tell them you love them, give them a hug. If not, maybe give that hug to your friends. If not, maybe your pets. But regardless, be thankful even just to yourself and give yourself some grace. It's a hard life out here. There's a lot of challenges, a lot of evil that exists in this world, and just for staying here and being here today, you should be proud and thankful for that. So I applaud you. And if you made it this far into the video, I just want to say thank you. Like I said earlier, this is my first time on YouTube, and honestly, for me as a person, this is me really stepping outside of my comfort zone. So I appreciate you taking the time just to listen to me, and I hope that you like what I had to say. Maybe something stuck with you, and if that did, I just ask maybe that you consider subscribing. If not, it's all right. Like I said, this won't be the last time you see me, so be sure to follow me on this journey.